Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his, three's company too. Come and dance on our floor.
Come and dance on our floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
We've a lovable space that needs your face, three's company too.
The war is over. Lord Sidious promised us peace. We only want...
Surely you can do better.
Now look, the Post, it flies. The news, look, Ma, no wires. The Times, blue bomb buzzes Metropolis. The Planet, we're sitting on top of the story of the century here. I want the name of this flying whatchamacallit to go with the Daily Planet like bacon and eggs. Franks and beans, death and taxes, politics and corruption.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. This is Unlimited Tirade episode 5, the big cinco, numero cinco. I am here with my gracious and lovely panel of distinguished guests. I am here with Mr. Narrowdark and Mr. Captain Keeli. Starting with Narrowdark, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. I'm back for this week.
Yeah, man, we missed you last week, man. Great to have you back. Keeli, how you doing?
Good. Just got back from fucking work. It was a slog today.
Yeah, man. We thought Keeli wasn't going to make it, but he slid on in during the intro. It was great. Speaking of the intro, what'd you guys think? Not too bad, not too shabby. Little gag.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, Vex said the Three Stooges. Yeah, maybe I'll make one with the Three Stooges next time, Vex. Shout out to the chat, guys. Good to see you in here. We got Vex in the building. We got Darth Paws, the long elusive Mr. Darth Paws. How's it going? Everybody, good to see you in here. Oh, Captain Keeli, you're already in here. SWA, how you doing, sir? Backseater, Paws lives. Everyone is excited. Everyone's so excited. I can't contain it. Vex said nice intro. Thank you, Vex. Thank you, Vex. Man, we are happy to be here, happy to be alive. Another great episode when we are ready to have the tisms for you nerds and geeks out there. We are ready to just spaz out and have our bi-weekly tirade. Hope everybody's having a good week and hope everybody is looking forward to the weekend. Man, right off the bat, I just wanted to say, ha! Everybody thought that bitch Kathleen Kennedy was going to leave. And look at you now. Look at all you fools that jumped on the bandwagon, and look at you now. I knew it, man. I knew it for a fact. And once that article came out with her talking on Deadline, it was her nice little gotcha. You thought moment. It was hilarious. Did Narrowdark and Keeli, you guys saw that shit, right?
Yeah, I made a video about it, kind of.
Yeah.
Just the news, not her response, because I was like, whatever. Like, I didn't think she was going to leave or anything, so her response was, like, kind of worthless.
Right. No, it definitely was like a backhanded response where she was like, I'll pull up the article just for anyone that hasn't caught it up yet. I know we haven't covered it, but it's really fucking funny. She was basically along the lines of saying, I'm not retiring, but we are looking for someone to replace in the next year or so. Like, it's really fucking funny to me, honestly. Keeli, what did you think, mate?
I just thought, like, oh, okay. So, like, all those videos that they all made were for nothing, I guess. Kind of make them all look fucking idiots if they weren't that already.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just so much of it. It was everywhere. Even those like bigger channels were fucking more
dude,
like,
right?
Like what was the? I think Benny Johnson, all the political channels were all making stuff about it. And I was like,
No,
pretty
it was
surprised by
big. It was big news,
Yeah.
and all these big pages went ahead and jumped on it, and they were like, "Finally, she's leaving." And he right now, SWA just said it perfectly. Snarky J, I was really surprised that she made the video and went about it the way that she did, but then again, she also liked Mandalorian, so I can't really like take her word for granted. But yeah, man, it's really fucking funny. These people jumped on it so quickly. Theory made a video on it. Critical Drinker made a video on it. Nerdrotic and Chris Gore, they all talked about it. Everyone made a video on it. The only people that seemed like they had sensible mind about it was the boys over on the EFAP channel. When they saw it, they were just like, I remember specifically Rags and Fringy. Yeah, Fringy. They were specifically saying, I'll believe it when I fucking see it. And that's exactly the type of energy that you need to have when stuff like this comes out. It's honestly hilarious.
Yeah, but it's like 15,000 different people kind of said, whether it's us or like people on Twitter, like different people on Twitter. Nothing's going to change even if she does leave. Like, you know, like she even said she'll still be influencing whoever's in there next. So what? Who cares if she leaves? It's not going to change anything.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not going to change anything. We talked about
And
this.
even if she wasn't influencing him, then Filoni's still fucking there, and then all his bullshit. It's like, God, yeah, Lucasfilm's not coming back.
No, none whatsoever. I don't know, mate. I think even saying for a while is a bit of a stretch. I don't think they're ever going to bounce back from this. And then there was some fucking rumor that tried to get pushed around. I think it got dead in the water real quick, but they were saying Disney was potentially looking for someone to buy the Star Wars brand, and I think that's a load of hogwash as well.
Yeah. Hold on. Can I just quickly
go ahead, Narrow?
This is like literally, legitimately, like fucking triggers me. I think whenever someone's like they're speculating on who could buy it, no one could afford it. Like, there's so many things you have to take into account. Like, if you really are someone who thinks Elon Musk could afford it, you might have like mental, like, you might need to get checked out. You need to go to the doctor. Like, there's something wrong with your brain, dude.
Right.
I am #triggered. That is right. But like, not only like, I think genuinely you'd need to offer Disney like $80 billion for them to even consider it, you know, because not only is the IP worth similar to Marvel, and Marvel is worth like 40 billion, but Disney are also in like $50 billion worth of debt. So realistically, they'd want to get rid of that debt and then make a bunch of money.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, but have they even broke profit yet? Did they even break even? I guess I could say.
Just for what they like bought, like how much
for
they
what
spent
they
on
exactly
Star
for what they
Wars?
bought, for what they spent on Star Wars, which was what 4 billion, 4.5 billion in that ballpark.
Yeah, I think 4 billion. Have they made that? They probably have over the like what fucking 10 years. How long have they owned it?
Yeah.
Just on merchandise alone, they probably make that. They probably make like $1 billion.
I don't
in a
know,
year.
man. I don't know. Like Force Awakens, you might have an argument there because they definitely hit the billion mark with that film. But after that, after Last Jedi hit, they really that was the start of their downward spiral death roll for sure.
I also think the whole like sequel trilogy making money off toys, like the prequels and the original trilogy, people bought shit tons of those toys. The toy sales, I think, best like ever was around like 2012, I think,
right,
for Star Wars anyway. But the sequel trilogy toys, they rarely even sold. And like if you like go look at all the new alien designs and characters and all that were in those movies, they look so uninspired, and there's nothing cool to kids that would want them.
Exactly. They're too fucking bubbly. They're too smooth. Yeah. Everything's so bubbly and cute and like safe, and it's just that. Like, it's so fucking annoying.
All right. So have a look at, whenever you have time to, go look at Maz Kanata's castle and all the aliens in there, and just all the sequel trilogy aliens in general. There's a good image of it like somewhere on the internet that like compares the three trilogies. And basically all the aliens from the sequel trilogy share the same like facial structures, because what they were designed to do is fit underperformers' heads, and well, they need to have their eyes coming out somewhere, so they had to like make the face shaped specifically for that, so they all look the same. And if they're CGI, they often look like blob aliens, kind of. Their faces are very squished together, and so you get these really uninspired, ugly-looking aliens that like are throughout the whole trilogy.
Right.
they're all so awful. It's like no one would want to buy them. There's no one cool like in the background or anything. No interesting character to look at. No Bosk, no Dengar, nothing like that. You get Slopface and McSlopface 2 and McSlopface 3. You know, that's what
Right.
you get.
No, I definitely hear that, but also at the same time, like I remember watching The Force Awakens for the very first, like the opening, not the opening night because I wasn't that enthused, but I definitely saw it like the week of release, and watching like the opening scene with like Ray and the what's the like the little sand planet she's on, Jakku, is that what it was?
Jakku, yeah.
Jack off Jakku, and she's fucking walking around, and the aliens on that planet just like they look like Star Trek. It was J.J. Abrams, and all I had in my head the whole time of watching it was Star Trek, and it was just not a very like exactly how Keely was saying, uninspiring, not creative, not George Lucas-esque, if you will. And the whole like Maz Kanata castle scene where you're looking at all the aliens in that place, it just felt real Trekky, not Star Wars at all, honestly. But
but like realistically, they've definitely made over $4 billion on Star Wars since they've purchased it. Like, come on. Like, maybe not strictly from the films, but as an IP, there's just so much you can make money from. And I'm not talking about merchandise just from the sequels, just Star Wars merchandise in general. That's going to make them a lot of money regardless of the state of the franchise, I guess.
I guess, man. I don't know.
You know what? Disney will probably, I think they're looking into putting their stuff on Netflix as well. And that'll make them a lot of money. I'm not really sure how Netflix even makes a fucking profit, but like that's how the CW used to make money on their DC shows, because those shows were not profitable. But the way they would make their money back is by giving those shows to Netflix to put onto their streaming service. Like that's how they would make money. I
don't know. Like I kind of want to push back on that because I feel like Disney Plus, I don't think it's in a good place right now, given the multiple failures of their live action films that have went straight to streaming, and a lot of the Disney Plus like Marvel series that have just tanked in the last like 4 or 5 years. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like it would work, but I don't think Netflix even cares enough to like want their stuff on their streaming services to share it. Like, they don't need it. No.
Right.
I think Disney Plus is just a failure, and the kind of content they should have been making, in my opinion, are like animated stuff. They should have just been releasing cartoons like about superheroes and stuff. Like, instead of trying to do all this high budget slop, terrible idea.
Oh yeah. Instead of fucking, I hate to say it, but you should have just pumped out more fucking Dave Filoni cartoons, and but I don't want to see that personally as an OG Star Wars fan. But on money wise, maybe it would have been more lucrative for them instead of these fucking live action duds.
Yeah, I mean, if a lot of these shows were just in that Clone Wars art style, I feel like most people would be totally okay with it. I think the fact that, and when I say okay with it, I mean the Star Wars fans who already like Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
When they watch these shows, because they're animated, they're a little more lenient on the quality of the writing. So, like, imagine if Book of Boba Fett was animated. Most of that, it's not that bad if it's animated. It just makes it more cringe when it's live action. And, like, you have people, like, riding around on, like, fucking Power Ranger motorbikes or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, that was garbage.
And like Kenobi, like all the cheesiness in these live action shows, it doesn't really work because it's live action and these shows cost like hundreds of millions of dollars. But if they were animated shows, it's like, whatever. It's just a dumb show. It's just a cartoon.
Remember that that fight scene I showed you guys, the one where Boba has his helmet off and he's fighting these dudes with little stabby like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would have looked way less bad.
Probably would have had better choreography if it was animated.
Yeah, I feel like this is just with all the modern Disney Star Wars, like Disney Plus shows. They all feel like they're like just Dave Filoni animated stuff, but live action, and like that.
Like that's the quality and the tone in the writing and like the acting. That's what it feels like. But I think it just looks they seem cheaper weirdly because It was just, I don't know if you we'll get to it later, but when we get to Daredevil, like
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you definitely want to drop a little bomb on that because that's fresh off the fresh out of the oven, and it was real sad,
Yeah.
real sorry case for that one. But yeah, man, like I said, the article, I honestly don't, I have the article here, but I don't want to pull it up because it's such a lot of just back and forth and them deadline.com basically glazing her, but at the same time also asking her like the tough questions, and she's just kind of running around the rosy on them. And I think one of the more interesting things was when they were bringing up the fact that they were saying Deadline says, quote, "I'm placing some blame on Marvel's Kevin Feige because he had that magnificent streak of superhero hits and set an impossibly high bar." That was really interesting to me because they tried comparing Feige and Kennedy when they're not even like on the level that Feige has done with Marvel, given prior to Phase 4 and 5. Feige has definitely had more of a successful run with Marvel than Kennedy has with Lucasfilm.
And that just goes to show how they're trying to make Star Wars Marvel, but it's not the same. You know, Star Wars has always been multimedia,
Yes.
and the MCU really isn't. It has become that after Endgame where they have shows and even animated stuff that tie in. But like, and I'm sure they have like comics. They have tie-in comics for Avengers, I'm pretty sure. But like not to the degree that Star Wars does. And the reason the Disney Plus stuff doesn't work is because you're trying to make it like Marvel, and it's just like that's not how it should be. You should have
Right.
movies that tell a story, and then you can have shows that tell a story, but you can't have like 10 different shows that tell 10 different stories. That just doesn't work for Star Wars. Not in the way that they've done it, anyway.
Right.
Like, the fact that, regardless of what you think about the sequels, everything on Disney Plus, I think, all the shows should have been set during that period, set after it, fleshing out that time period, instead of just, like, grifting or, like, you know, nostalgia, using nostalgia for subs. Like, you should actually try and expand on what you've done instead of just ignoring it. And now you're at a point where it's like, now we kind of have to go back to that. It's like, well, what do we do? Mara Jade, you know, Mara Jade, Secret Skywalkers, like all that stuff. I like.
Yeah.
I still like my idea of Rey's mother being a clone of Luke. like you know,
Lucy.
in the Thrawn trilogy, they have the hand and they clone Luke, and like they have the clone at the end. Like, do the same thing, but have it be a woman, and then have the whole point of that clone so she can get with the Palpatine clone. Like, they were made specifically to make the vessel for Rey. I feel like most people completely forgot that Palpatine wanted to possess Rey and steal her body.
Oh, that's the immediate thing that a lot of people forget, because
like no one remembers that.
No, yeah, he says
like I'm the only one who fucking remembers.
No,
that.
yeah, he basically recycles the whole thing that Obi-Wan said to Vader: "If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful, but instead, I'm gonna hop in your little small tit body." Like, and then she fucking kills him, and nothing happens. Or like, you could think, or you could like go into imagination land and be like, "Oh, that's actually Palpatine walking around on Tatooine burying Luke and Leia's sabers into the fucking dirt of their fucking moisture farm."
I watched the movie, and it's like, let the ritual begin, and then he's like, now I'm gonna steal your body. But I guess there was my conclusion was like there was an actual ritual that they had to do with like all the people in that Colosseum or whatever, and like it just didn't happen, and that's why she killed him, and it's like, oh, it's fine.
Oh yeah, no, like we forget all about it. I'm all the Jedi, by the way.
and people were like, yeah, it's like he wanted to steal her body, but then they're like, actually, we're a dyad, and he's like, oh, I can absorb the dyad powers and heal myself, so I don't need you. So it's like, well, you know, all this stuff about Rey's birth, it's like, well, you didn't even need it. You know, she didn't even need to be a Palpatine. She needed to be a Palpatine so he could possess her. But at the end of the movie, his plan changed, and he didn't want to do that anymore. So, who cares?
Like, so who cares? Question mark.
Like it's just like so. And what was that place? Kijimi? No. Wait, where? Huh? What's Kijimi? Is Kijimi the desert planet? That's
don't
the different
fucking
one where
know.
they find the dagger. But in The Last Jedi, they go to that fucking casino place. Because you were talking about Maz Kanata's like
Kijimi's the stupid fucking planet where they find that pirate
Yeah.
girl, you know.
Oh, but anyway, in Last Jedi, when Finn and Rose go to that fucking casino, like I doubt any of you could remember any of the aliens there. Just wanted to bring that up because like you were talking about Maz Kanata's palace.
Yeah.
There's like one or two aliens that I can remember from that casino place. One of them is like a fat lady, and the other's like a little guy who tries to put like coins in BB-8 or something.
Yeah, like I saw a video
Canto
recently.
Bite. Yeah,
that
SWA
they
Canto
tried-
Bite,
there.
right.
Canto Bite.
Yeah, Canto Bite. Yeah. There was like a video I saw recently that kind of went into like all the alien designs from the three trilogies. Yeah, 3 films. But and they kind of went around the Last Jedi ones. There's nothing there that's really of note. They're all just the same kind of thing, same structure, same body type. Whenever they can't do something, they'll just like make them all bloated and large or whatever, because to hide all the human performers underneath them. It's all bad.
Oh, look, we have practical effects. We have real makeup and real suits. Hogwash.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they did it. And the reason JJ did it was because he doesn't like the prequels, which, you know, okay, but
How
when he
embarrassing. How embarrassing.
Keely.
like one thing so many people do is they take the wrong like lessons from the prequels. Apparently CGI is bad and you can't take advantage of that as a storytelling thing or a way to get certain visuals in or whatever, but they'll use it for pretty much everything else in the movies. But they just didn't want to do the aliens because prequels bad. That was their kind of thought going into this.
Yeah,
They literally have a line in the first fucking movie where he goes, I think it's the old dude that goes, "This will begin to make things right," and that's a dig at the prequels.
Definitely prequel
Okay.
bashers.
Yeah, like I feel like that must have bled over into the rest of the stuff they're making because, like, with the Grand Inquisitor in Kenobi, it's just a guy, and he looks nothing like how he's
It's
supposed
just a
to.
guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, if they really cared, they would use CGI to make him look like how he's supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
they
We
don't
talked
look
about
like
that before.
bald
We
people.
talked about it how the Utapauans were all CGI'd in Revenge of the Sith. So they've done it before. George did it first. So yeah, definitely.
Also,
definitely
that old guy at the start of The Force Awakens, he's like,
who the fuck is he?
He's a guy. He's friends with
He's a
Luke
guy.
somehow. No, but I saw there's a Kylo Ren comic, I think, where it's like him, Luke, and Ben are fighting the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
I don't know the context, but I saw that panel. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I don't know if you guys have seen like Ren, who the Ren is, and then like the Knights of Ren fighting Darth Vader. It's so cringe.
Yeah, it doesn't sound at all appealing. Yeah, his name was Grogu, John, the child. Oh my god. Yeah, man. Train wreck as always, Lucasfilm. But I'll wrap up. Like I said, I know we were all over the place with this Kathleen Kennedy nonsense, and it was honestly funny to see her do this little back and forth charade article that she did with Deadline. And I find it funny at the end because it ends off with Deadline saying, "Any regrets?" And Kennedy says, "No, I mean far from regrets. I've loved the challenge of stepping into this space and literally space and being with Star Wars over these years, taking on the challenges of expanding on Star Wars." She should be barred from ever muttering the words expanded or expanding, by the way. "I've loved working with Disney, and the company has been fantastic in its support of the IP. Has it, though? They've expanded things in ways I don't think George could have even imagined, and it's been such a learning experience. Learning how to drag it into the fucking ground 6 feet deep underneath Jabba's carcass. Like, fuck you. Fuck off." Oh my god. Well, exactly, SWA. What challenge? Dumb bitch.
Yeah. Isn't she like, so she's talking about George here. And I think one reason why that she can do that and get away with it is because George won't say anything. He never will. because he's just abandoned everything Star Wars. He's moved on in his life. He doesn't give a fuck about the franchise. I also find it funny when people are like, George should buy it back. What's the point of him doing it? He's already done everything he wants to do.
I don't see that in the cards. I don't think George would ever come back to Star Wars in this lifetime. Like I said, like you said, he's a little bit older in his golden years, and I think he's closed the chapter on that part of his life. But I also don't want to see it in the hands of Disney. I would honestly like to see Star Wars packed up into a storage unit and then a big extra-sized vault, locked and key, and then sent all the way to Timbuktu and buried underneath the fucking jail that exists there. I don't ever want to see anyone touch it ever again.
Like, it's kind of at a point where I think, for me, Marvel is kind of going in where it's like, you know, the good stuff is already made and everything else is worthless and I don't even care anymore. Like, yeah, this franchise is fucked thanks to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah,
and everyone else at Disney. I think
it's a big hand of it too for the Disney direction, and a big hand of it for the corporate chameleon Dave Filoni, being a yes man and also implementing his ideas and his shit characters. And
I don't even think it's him being a yes man. He's just like, him and Kathleen Kennedy are like, they're the same. They want the same things. It's not like he's just gonna do whatever he's told so he can get more access or whatever. It's just like, he likes all that kind of stuff, you know, like the Force is female.
Right.
He probably jerks off to that phrase. He probably wears that shirt while Satan's wife is like begging him or something.
Oh yeah, call me George.
I was his apprentice. Did you know that? I was his apprentice.
He taught me everything he knew, and then I didn't tell him anything until the ending of editing.
So I left that out.
Oh,
I knew he wouldn't like it, so I left it out.
John, I heard rewriting Ripley that hateful YouTubers make millions. Let me know, man. Let me know where I sign up.
One day, hopefully, you know?
Man.
I mean, I'm not hateful.
Where's my money?
It's my money, and I need it now. Yeah, man. But yeah, closing the door on that fucking Kathleen Kennedy article. Ha ha, you lose, you thought, and you were wrong. She ain't going any fucking where. She's gonna die with her fucking corpse attached to Star Wars for the rest of its days, or at least until she drops dead and then her new lackey gets a hold of it.
One thing I will say before we move on, all those YouTubers like Narrowdark, I don't really know if he made a video about it, but like Critical Drinker making a video being like, Kathleen Kennedy's gone, that should tell you everything you need to know about what kind of guy he is. Like, he's a grifter and he makes content like, he's like disingenuous kind of guy. And, you know, outside of just that, I feel like a lot of his opinions on movies, it's like pretty like, you know, surface level. It's not really someone you should go to for an actual opinion.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Oh, and I think if Ryan Kennel like made a video about it, then, you know, it's hard to defend that guy when he's fucking making all these fucking like grifter videos, you know.
Yeah. Like, it's, I don't know. I think Ryan, he basically told other people that were surrounding him, he was like, I don't know. Like he's always kind of the voice of reason, in my opinion. Like, and surrounded by whoever he's surrounded by, he always has like the more like grounded take to something. And I'm not like, I'm not glazing him or nothing like that.
John,
I'm just saying,
John in the chat, like, I get being topical and making videos about stuff that's topical. There's a difference between that and just being like, she's out of here. You know? Like,
yeah.
Actually presenting it like, oh, she's gonna go now. And obviously, like, I'm pretty sure drinkers like take it with a grain of salt or whatever, but like, fuck off. You know? Like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, like I said, man, I watched like a few of their shows. Like The Drinker does a show with Mahler, and I think it's called After Hours, I think it's called. And he had Snarky J on, and I want to say Nerdrotic and a couple of other blokes in their circle. But anyway, they were all talking about it, and they were just like, yeah, quite a few of them saying like, yes, finally, it can end the tyranny. And then I'm like, and then Ryan Kennel's like, okay, but who do you think's gonna take over? Like, it's gonna be one of her people. It's going to be somebody that she's groomed or she's led for this point and position to take over the company and her image. Like, it's like we say, at the end of the day, we're a fucking broken record right now, but it's not going to get any better. Like, come on.
Yeah. Did you want to quickly move on to the Stephen Knight thing?
I'm going to get there. Yeah. Shout out to Star Wars Marvel Purist is in the chat. Is this where all the autistic, toxic EU fans that are worse than Disney shills congregate to touch grass and ride bikes? Any old school Wedgens fans here? I remember Wedgens. I remember. Shout out to Star Wars Marvel Purist, man. Always good to see him. Guys, make sure you go subscribe and watch some of his content, man. He makes great videos for the EU and for defending George Lucas Star Wars. Shout out to all the chat, man. You guys are going nuts tonight. I love to see it. And I said it already because Vex pointed out that chat was fucking goofy as hell tonight. I do need to have more mods, and I will remedy that after tonight's stream. I will mod some more people for you guys. But yes,
and just like before, go ahead, again, before we move on again, like I have seen like Critical Drinker and all them in like live streams, and they don't seem as unbearable. You know, I think it's just like when it's their videos they put out, it's like, you shut up, shut the fuck up, dude. Jesus Christ!
Like, I feel like there's this kind of, I don't know if this is like some psychological thing where it's just
there
like
you go.
When like people get to like a certain point where they can actually make money off videos, they're more likely to go ahead and try and do things that will obviously make them more money. Yeah. So they just keep going through on that cycle because, well, it'll make them money. It's just it's kind of like this thing where it's just like they go, and I feel like that's why Ryan Cannell's doing it. It's more or less like, well, I'm making money here and I'm just commenting on whatever and I give my take on it or whatever. And
yeah, like,
up, I guess.
And it like is kind of a grifty thing to do.
For sure.
Yeah,
so I'm not like totally going to hold it against someone for like making a video that people want to watch so I can get more money. Like, that is not a bad thing. But I think it's like the intent kind of ruins those videos, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I see Ryan, I like Ryan and I want to like him. But whenever I see him talk about like Rachel Zegler and any of those guys make videos about her, I'm like, that's clearly a grift. Any adult
I've been
about
avoiding
her or speaks about her, like, get a fucking grip.
I've been avoiding the Snow White shit.
Yeah,
that's like we all know that movie
Disney
shit.
Remakes.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, that's kind of common knowledge. We all know that we're not going to go see these live action remakes. And honestly, like, let's be for real. Like, guys that are in our like late 20s, 30s, and shit, we're not going to go see the new Snow White movie. It's not
like,
for us.
If you're a grown man
I'm
and
good.
you like watching those kinds of videos about, you know, whether it's a Rachel Zegler or anything like that, like, what are you doing with your life? I don't want to judge anyone, but like, come on.
Yeah, that definitely is in the ballpark of like private chat. What the fuck? Fucking Keely threw me off. Anyway, following up with that, we did have a little thing from Stephen Knight did a little he got a quote on StarWarsNewsNet.com, but I don't believe he's the one. They're the ones that got the quote from him. I'm gonna see right now, but we're gonna go ahead and share the screen real quick. Shout out to you, all of you guys, man. Make sure to force choke that like button. Share the stream out with your mates, with your friends. We would really appreciate it over here. Here we go. All right. So yeah, title reads, fucking cursor. Stephen Knight calls working on Star Wars a great experience. Enjoyed working with Kathleen Kennedy. Who has the gun to the back of his head? I would love to know. Here we go. Okay. Stephen Knight is out doing press for his latest series, 1,000 Blows on Disney Plus, where he's inevitably had to field a bunch of questions about the writing he did for Daisy Ridley's new Jedi Order film. As reported by The Playlist, there we go. That's who got the quote in. Knight was pretty positive about the whole experience and had some kind words to say about Kathleen Kennedy. Real quick, isn't it convenient that this pops up after this little fiasco of people reporting on if she's leaving Lucasfilm or not, that we suddenly have like a nice little piece of Stephen Knight coming out and saying, no, she's a wonderful, she's a thrill, she's great. Like, you guys muted?
Sorry, I was just yeah.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like
You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers.
yeah, I was looking at John's chat. But yeah. Sorry, what did you say?
Fuck you, Narrowdark. Fuck you. Continuing on, that's what he gets. Though he did go on to call working on Star Wars a whirlwind when it came to the pressure that creative face with the franchise. As we reported last month, he also stated that he expected most of his work will end up in the finished product. Yeah, we did talk about that on a previous
What does that
episode.
even-
How
like I don't even know
he
how
basically hit them with some word salad, saying like, oh yeah, it was like whatever I did right, if they use any of it, like good for them. Like he's like saying like he was like, it's like just backhanded compliment, or not even backhanded, but just like going around in circles, like they just kiss each other's ass without really like saying anything of like merit, of anything valid, factual. It's honestly quite annoying, and honestly it makes me feel like some of these articles are a waste of fucking time for them to even put out.
Yeah, I just don't believe it. Like I don't believe a single writer, like someone like Stephen Knight. Oh, if they use my ideas, that's great. No way he would ever think that, because he's not getting paid for it. And like, what are
Right.
his ideas? What ideas are you talking about, though? Like,
Hey man,
can you name
apparently
them?
it's going to be a great movie script, you know?
I mean, how would he know? He's not one of the writers.
Hey, and then he goes on to say, and quote, I mean, it was such a great experience, and I'm not just saying this, even though it feels like you are, Steve.
That's exactly what someone says when they're just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
it.
Oh, I know. This is the perfect way to word this. They were great people. Kathleen Kennedy is a pleasure to work with. Lucasfilm are smart people who know their craft.
Yeah, all this seems so fake.
Oh my fucking god. And for me, it's like a particular discipline in the world of writing and film. It's this world, and you enter the world and you do your bit and you do your take. And I always knew the process then moves on. So I don't know what of the writing that I've submitted is going to end up in whatever the next incarnation of that movie is. It's just great to be there and to be part of that.
So I think he's talking about the Ray movie. He's
yeah,
written stuff,
he's
and then
he's definitely
submitted it,
talking about the Ray film. Yeah.
and then it's like, well, if they use it and they change it or whatever, like, but the way he words that, like, oh, you do your bit and you move on, and they'll change it or whatever. It's like, see, now if you're an actual talented writer like Stephen Knight, that will cause you to say, you know, fuck this movie, I'm going to make my own stuff, and I'm out of here. And then that's
Right.
why he exited the film. Like I don't believe that this is a good experience for any writer.
No, not at all. Like, just look at the amount of people that, like, I know, beating a dead horse, but the amount of people that have left and like not been able to like come to terms with Kathleen Kennedy or the direction, or getting too much meddling from the studio into their creative process. Yeah, I could imagine it. Total horseshit. And then he says, he ends it with, I loved it. You either get blown away or you use it. And I really wanted to use that energy to do what I do, to contribute what I want to contribute. And you enter it with reverence and you do what you can, and then hope that you've done stuff that's going to end up on that huge screen. This
See,
bullshit.
that just sounds like
I'm getting
oh,
off that.
You do what you want to do, and you hope they use what you want them to use, and it's like, you know, that's not how you make a good movie.
No, not at all. Oh, Jesus.
But I will
almighty.
say, like, because this is his experiences on the Ray movie, and it was like that Kathleen Kennedy article. I think they listed a bunch of stuff they were doing, and she didn't mention the Ray movie or whatever. But like, I know some people are speculating that it's going to get canceled. It just straight up is not going to get canceled. Like, that movie's getting made.
That's
100.
immediately what everyone was running to when they said, "Oh, she's gone. She's gone." The Ray movie's getting canned. That was the immediate
It's like
follow-up.
They're
that
moving the
everyone had.
goalposts. It's like, oh, she's leaving or she's not leaving, but the Ray movie is getting canceled. Like, it's not going to get canceled, guys. You know, I think the fact that the Ryan Gosling film is set in between Rise of Skywalker and when the Rey movie is set makes me think the Rey movie is definitely getting made. It's like I think we all kind of probably think Ryan Gosling is a secret Skywalker, probably.
I don't fucking know.
My theory is secret son of Luke, and his name is going to be Cade. Anyway, because Disney are fucking hacks and they can't write anything good.
No,
But
yeah,
I can see how that would set up the Rey movie and lead into that.
Hey man, let's see how it goes because I don't fucking see it. I definitely think that this movie is going to precisely happen. It's definitely going to happen.
Here's the thing: the reason it like has taken so long is because Lucasfilm are operating with whichever script is finished first. That's the movie that gets made next. So if Sean Levy finishes his script, that's the next movie. If Taika Waititi submits a good enough script tomorrow, that's gonna get made. Like that's how they're doing it. That's why the Taika Waititi movie's been put on hold. It's because Taika Waititi hasn't made his script yet.
Yeah. And Ryan Johnson's gonna make his guys. Don't you worry, don't you fret. John said the director would throw a fit if they canceled her movie. Would call it Disney sexist and shit. You talking about our
canceling the Rey
Charmin
movie.
Abate Chenoy director? Yeah, because she's the one that's still supposed to direct it. Oh God, good luck. Good luck to all them. God bless them. Oh man. In a perfect world. I doubt it though. Man, yeah, Star Wars is I don't say dead because we all are a fan of what we're a fan of. We still uphold and on the pedestal the OG 6 films. I know all the 6 films, and then of course the EU books and the cartoons and the comics. Like that's definitely what keeps it alive. But as far as Disney Star Wars goes, yeah, Disney Star Wars is a fucking dead body. And they're going to they're going to be the what's the fucking ist that has sex with corpses? Necrophiliac. Yeah, Disney is a bunch of necrophiliacs for their own corpse that they've created. Definitely lovely shit. But yeah, other than that being dead, also many things that have come out for the Marvel universe, haven't they? Narrowdark.
What did you want to talk about first?
I was bringing up the fact that the Avengers Doomsday concept art leaked. Then it's actually real shit.
I thought it looks like real shit. It looks real shit.
Yeah. I didn't even mean that like dramatically.
I honestly think like this is terrible. I don't know if everyone in chat has seen the leaked images, this concept art. I don't know if you watched EFAP. EFAP did a video on it. I watched theirs earlier today, and
I got the photo right here. Hold on.
Like, God, to introduce Doom, not only is it Robert Downey Jr., but it's also not just regular Doom. It's like Doom World, God Emperor Doom or some shit.
Yeah.
Lame-o, and look at the Avengers in the middle. That's the Avengers, guys.
That's the new Avengers, right?
That's the new they'll probably call. There is some other team I think they're probably going to call it. I forget what the name is, but it's like the Sentinels or something like that.
Right.
And yeah, I hate these characters. I hate Joe Locke who plays Wiccan. It's an ugly little. He's too ugly. Get out of here, you fucking ugly.
Who plays who?
Wiccan. Wanda's son in Agatha all along. He's right next to Miss Marvel there in the middle.
I have no idea who that is because I didn't watch that show.
I mean, that art is weird because the kid next to him, I think, is supposed to be whoever his brother is. But Tommy, forget his name. What is his superhero name? Wiccan and it's not Speed, is it?
Oh fucking no! Don't ask me, mate.
You're the
Yeah, I'm the what? I'm the Marvel expert.
I was gonna say you're the Marvel expert, but you're not.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Speed. It is Speed. Wicked and Speed. Fucking lame, dude.
Yeah. Keely, are you up to date with Marvel? You don't give a fuck about Marvel? Have you?
I don't give a fuck about Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Hulk's there, the Hulk's
Short and
that's
to
like
the point.
fucking Hulkland. That is some alternate universe Hulk town where everyone in the background there, everyone in the back is green. Like those are
It's
all
like,
Hulks.
yeah, it looks
Hulk
like the
people.
Shrek village from
Yeah,
the Shrek
Yeah,
4.
fucking like this is like new look at Shrek 5, guys. Look at this.
or the ogre village.
This looks-
That is
this-
Shrek 5.
This looks better than what I've seen for Shrek 5, but and
Oh my
like
god.
you know, oh,
I just love how they're still going in this direction with Mark Ruffalo Hulk content, and
I fucking
it
hate
couldn't
it.
be. It's so fucking bad, dude.
I
He was
think-
one of the worst choices for that role.
you know what? I think he would have done great if they kept the dynamic of it's like two different personalities, like in the Avengers. Like I think he's a good actor. It's just like the way they're writing his character now sucks, and like the way he's acting, it's just lame.
Yeah. Well, personally, it's some people don't agree, but I think that I've brought it up before, so don't chastise me for repeating myself, but I'm telling you, Edward Norton in The Incredible Hulk in what was it, 2008 that
Yeah,
came
it's
out?
great. It's great.
It was
Great. Pretty
fucking
good movie.
fucking
Underrated, I think.
amazing. Amazing.
Eric
amazing
Banner,
Hulk.
though. Imagine if it was
Yeah,
Eric Banner
Banner was
still.
better.
Imagine, I like Eric Banner. And that Hulk movie when I was a kid, that scared me when I watched that as a kid. There's some scenes
Oh, it
in that
scared the
actually
piss
kind
out of me
spooky.
too, mate.
Yeah, like Eric Banner's also Australian, so dub, automatic dub.
I
Yeah,
guess.
there's like I've noticed a couple of things Narrowdark seems to like as Australian actors. Like he likes Ben Mendelsohn, so just
Hey man, it's
any
all right.
Australian
I think
actor-
my country's better than everyone else's, so it's fair.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like
No.
if you haven't seen Hawkeye, if you haven't seen Ant-Man 3, if you haven't seen Agatha All Along or Miss Marvel, you're not gonna know who any of these fucking people are. And like
yeah.
there's also that image of Star-Lord and Vision.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. They're sitting on the chair, and it's White Vision too.
White
at that,
Vision.
At that,
So like if you haven't watched fucking WandaVision, even if you
right
have,
here we
even
go.
if you have, I think EFAP said this, even if you have, you probably fucking forget why he's white, why he even looks like that. And
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
I did
supposed to
not
be
watch
Chadwick
that either.
Boseman or like
His son.
I think they'll probably just recast and that's T'Challa from another universe. And that's the thing, like fuck this multiverse shit. It doesn't work. What they should have done is just gone back to I think EFAP talked about this, but it was like the first Avengers, we're fighting a villain in New York, right? And the second one is we're fighting a villain to save the world. And then it's like, oh, now we're fighting a villain to save the universe. And like, that's how you should scale it. You should go back to there's a villain attacking this city. Let's team up to stop this villain. That should be the next Avengers film.
Yeah, take it back down, bring it back down a notch to a smaller scale.
Let's do the multiverse in the fucking lamest way possible. And like, I don't care about these young Avengers meeting. I don't care about any of these like Hulks or this like Star-Lord and Vision or like Doom, who is not even the real Doom. I think it's going to be, I honestly, at this point, because it's Doom World, like God Emperor Doom stuff, I think this is going to be like a Tony Stark Doom and not a Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, it's like you said, like up here, like it's clear as day that this is definitely like a Doom that has already like won and conquered all, clearly.
Yeah, hopefully, like if they just, because they're going to ruin the Fantastic Four by bringing them into this shit. I was hoping like, why don't we just, this is the thing, Fantastic Four, I think they should have the X-Men in that universe and just have the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
in that
you
universe
brought that up before. I
and have
remember
it
you
be
saying
separate. That way it would just work better and it wouldn't be so connected with this garbage. This is slop. I hate this image, this image in the middle with these characters and Star-Lord. And everyone was like, oh, look, there's an X-Men logo on that fucking little goblin right there. Like, Fuck that. Who
And
cares?
that's the thing, dude. It's become the point where Star-Lord is like an quote unquote anchor being. Like Star-Lord is someone that's supposed to like pull you in for this kind of setting. Like he's become like the new like Thor, the new Iron Man. We have Star-Lord.
Yeah, and like John
Yeah.
is saying in the chat how the X-Men can emerge. Everyone's been saying that for years. I'm just saying I would prefer if it wasn't a part of the MCU main universe and in a different one, because I feel like the X-Men work better when there aren't a bunch of other heroes around, you know?
Right. I
Just
agree.
going off of the films that have already been made, it works. There's enough in the X-Men lore for them to be their own thing. But if you want to connect it to other heroes, I think the Fantastic Four are probably a pretty good, you know, or just making the Fantastic Four universe full of heroes just set in the 60s or whatever that's set. So you can have different versions of the characters we know show up in that time period,
right,
with different actors and stuff. Like, that's what they should do instead of rebooting, because I feel like that's where this is going. All this stuff
I get
is
the
going to
feeling
lead to
too,
a
yeah.
reboot.
It's
And I think
it's
they're going to
definitely
reboot
that.
because they've kind of written themselves into a shitty corner, and they kind of ruined everything after Endgame. I think they should just focus on that Fantastic Four universe and expand on that and say this stuff after Secret Wars is done, and the Fantastic Four, like, we have this movie, they're going to be in the Avengers, and now that's the main universe we're going to focus on.
Wait,
So you
so
can
is
have all these
Fantastic
new
Four
characters.
is Fantastic Four supposed to happen
Fantastic Four
after
is
these Avengers movies?
no, I think
movies?
it's going to be like, it's coming out in July.
Oh, it's this year.
Yeah, I think it's coming out in
Oh, fuck
July.
me.
It's coming out this year. So I think, yeah, Pedro Pascal, like he's like, I'm still like, unless he proves me wrong and he's actually a really talented actor, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that casting.
Yeah. I've said it before. I don't agree with that casting choice whatsoever. But yeah, the Fantastic Four definitely, it doesn't meld well with this what they got going on. X-Men coming into the mix would just fumble it even more. And
Yeah,
like
I
you
just think
said,
like,
wrote themselves into a bloody fucking horrible corner, and they
yeah,
can't fucking claw themselves out of it.
yeah, like, what is the plot of this even? Like, it's Doomsday and Secret Wars, but it's like Secret Wars in name only. Like, don't look at those comics to think
The
this
plot
is
is
going anywhere.
definitely an I don't care, or I could care less. That's the plot.
I think it's probably like he's gonna like destroy the multiverse. That's probably what it's gonna be,
Fucking do
or
something.
something. Like, what? Like, who cares? Like, this shit is so lame. And I'm pretty sure Robert Downey Jr. is like writing this shit as well. Based on what I've heard,
Is
it
he
sounds like
really? Does he have like writing credits?
I don't know. It's the based on what he's been saying about Doom. It's like it sounds like he's writing for the character, at least the character's
Oh
backstory, or
no.
something. Like, it just sounds so weird. Like, he's definitely very involved in this movie. They gave him $100 million for it, so
Fuck. Like I don't care, because like it's like you said, like I have no idea. I had no correlation between any of the photos that were being shown, so I have no connection to any of these quote unquote new characters that have been in like the new phases of Marvel. But I just genuinely don't, the mesh. It's like how you say none of it meshes well. None of this connects properly. And hell, even I had issues with how they were connecting some of the stuff in like the old phases of Marvel. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like
I
it was a
saw,
fluke.
yeah, I'll tell you, I did get excited when I saw the ending credits for Incredible Hulk, and then it was General Ross getting drunk at the bar, and then Iron Man or Tony Stark walks up to him and tells him we're putting together a team or whatever the fuck. So I was definitely like hyped up for that, and like the little like nods to Thanos being shown and everything at the ending of that too. And it was building up nicely. And honestly, I think where I started getting skeptical and kind of raising my eyebrow was, I think, Civil War. And when I watched Civil War, and I was immediately not on board with the new Spider-Man when I saw Tom Holland Spider-Man and what they were doing, introducing that new Peter Parker, I was not about it. I'll hold my guns to this day, and I'll die on that hill that Homecoming and Far From Home and No Way Home are honestly just garbage Spider-Man films.
Totally agree, dude. Like, I am not a fan of those movies. I especially don't like Far From Home. But that's like, I don't know if you guys watched Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that cartoon that came out.
Not whatsoever, but I've been seeing that you've been covering it and losing your fucking brain cells over it.
The reason I don't like it so much is, like, I'm fine with it being different if it also feels like Spider-Man, but it's like an alternate version of the MCU Spider-Man specifically. Like, it's the MCU but different. Instead of the comics but a little different, it's the MCU. And it's like cringe. I don't want to say that shit.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Keely, were you ever a Spider-Man guy?
I really like the Tobey Maguire ones a lot.
Oh yeah, of course.
Wasn't big on Andrew Garfield, but I despise like the new one, fucking Tom Holland. He feels so corporatized. He doesn't feel like a person. He feels like, oh look,
he feels like Iron Man Jr.
He's horrible. I hate him. I can't stand that Spider-Man.
Yeah, so in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, it's Norman Osborn is basically taking the spot of Tony Stark. So he's the one who goes to him in their apartment. He's the one who's like, hey, you have an internship at Isles Corp, and now we're going to work together, and I help you be Spider-Man or whatever. And it's like, this is lame. Lame as shit. You know, I fucking hate it. Yeah. And they have Daredevil in there, and it's Charlie Cox, and they use the music, and he's fighting, and he's flipping around, he's doing all this stupid shit that Daredevil does, but Charlie Cox Daredevil doesn't. But now he does. In his own show, he does do all that stuff. So, fuck the show.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get to that. I know you have a lot of lovely things for that show. I like Spider-Man, the whole like Sony owning the rights to Spider-Man characters, and the shit that the stuff that Sony has done. Wow. Like, you know, even what they've done with Madam Web, Kraven the Hunter, the Venom trilogy, like all garbage in my opinion. But even that doesn't tarnish the brand of Spider-Man for me. You still can come back and make an amazing film with the characters and the villains and rectify all of that. You could still fix it to this day. I feel the same way about that, kind of how I feel about Star Wars. With the right set of hands, with the right set of hands, somebody could fix Star Wars. And of course, it'd have to be a wipe slate clean kind of situation. But
the problem with that is it would take, the damage has been so fucking, like I've said this before like a million times, the damage is so like intrinsic into the actual nature of what Star Wars once was. That saving it would require so much fucking effort, and I don't even know if you could make it profitable at that point.
I think the reason it can't happen is because of how the general public sees Star Wars.
Yeah,
you can't just like fix that. You can't fix it.
Right. No.
Yeah, there are probably ways you could get around things, and kind of it's possible, but it's extremely fucking difficult. Like the way you'd have to do it is so. It'd be so time consuming. It wouldn't be of any value. It'd be so fucking hard to do. It's almost an impossible task. Like, could someone theoretically do it? Sure, but it would require things to be done that wouldn't really work in any sort of modern corporate kind of thing. You just can't do it that way. You just wouldn't be able to. It's in a pretty depressing spot when you think about it.
Oh yes, of course. Well, yeah. Well, you know, maybe the correlation isn't like correct for this circle of folks, but I feel Spider-Man is in a really sad place, and like the characters around Spider-Man have just been dragged horribly. Sony should definitely not have the reins for those characters anymore.
I think it's,
but I don't want Disney to touch them either.
He's the one. Avi Arad is the guy making all his choices with Spider-Man characters. But you know what's crazy about Madam Web? I was actually let down by that movie. I had really low expectations, and it didn't even meet my low expectations. It was so bad. But anyway,
Yeah, I watched Madam Web for only 2 things, and they were both attached to Sydney Sweeney.
and they weren't even on. I was expecting like, hey, some sexy like Spider Woman outfits.
I know, man.
5 seconds at the
Oh my
barely
god.
anything, dude. That's fucked up.
Like give
That
me
is
something,
fucked
a
up.
glimpse.
That
a
is
peek.
actually fucked up. That is crazy
How
that they
dare
did that.
you? How
In the
dare
trailer and
you.
everything. Like what you see in the trailer, like that's how much you see of it in the movie.
Oh my god.
I want to offer my condolences to John because he probably suffered the most from this. Like, sure, he's a homosexual, but he also likes big titties. So yeah, there you go, John.
I also
I know,
too,
very random, but
I too suffered. Feel my grief, Keely. Real quick before we keep going crazy, not to cut you off, Narrow, but shout out to Star Wars Scran. Shout out to Scran in the chat tonight. He made it to catch us live a little bit. Hey man, how you doing? Good to see you. Guys, if you haven't already, go subscribe to Scran. His Monday, well, for me it's Monday morning, but for him it's the evening. His Monday streams are very special. Go check him out. Yeah, I need to mod Scran. I need to mod a few people.
Am I modded? I don't think I am.
You are not. I think Keely's the only one, and I did that like when I first started the channel and was like first talking to him. So I have to do it. I have to do it more.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's why I think Marvel should really invest in some cartoons. Like, sure, you fucked up a lot of stuff, but you could still just make a good cartoon. And I was like, yeah, cool.
I love how you keep going the cartoon route. The hope. Oh man.
It's not hopium. It's just a good idea.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
It's not hopium, dude. It's just a separate thing they could do.
No. I corrected myself. I wasn't going to hit you with a hopium remark.
I heard you say it. You said
I corrected myself. I stopped myself.
Like, that's the thing about Marvel is because like they're in a position to be able to do that. Star Wars is not in a position to be like, oh, here's some animated expanded universe stuff. They can't do that. It just wouldn't work. Because of the general public and how they see Star Wars.
Yeah.
You just couldn't be like, here's Heir to the Empire in a cartoon. And then for people to be like, what the fuck is any of this? They wouldn't even know what the hell that is, you know?
Yes.
Cartoonium?
SWA.
The cartoonium.
He has the cartoonium.
I have the cartoonism.
Copium, hopium. You guys are great.
But like, you know, but like, fuck off. Like, how is it any different by saying it's Spider-Man can be saying whatever?
Oh, dude, no, I hear no. I was just giving you shit, but yeah, no.
God forbid I want some fucking cartoons, though. Jeez.
I would love some fucking cartoons. I want another Batman cartoon. God damn it! But not one that's like in the style of HBO cartoons that they've been doing. That shit is just trash.
Anyway, should we move on to Daredevil?
I was going to say that, mate. So
yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know if you guys
if I keep talking about Spider-Man, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, Daredevil. Born Again? What's your verdict? Give it to us.
I gave the first 2 episodes a 6 out of 10. Probably a little too nice because I also skipped a few scenes. Some stuff I just spent
really.
Yeah, I probably should not. I should probably knock them down to like a 5 out of 10. Yeah, there's like some like on the street interview stuff that one of the characters is like a journalist and she's like interviewing New Yorkers. I just skipped all of those. Like there's a few of those in those episodes. I just skipped that shit. Give me cartoons of Spider-Man. Anyway. But like what I expected to happen happened. Spoilers for the day.
Spoiler warning. Spoiler alert.
Foggy dies in the first episode. I figured that would happen. I expected him to die at the end, but he died like right at the start.
Who made that decision?
And well, everyone who's coping about it is saying like it sets the tone for the rest of the show, and it's like fuck off. You know, he was on screen for like 5 minutes and he gets shot and dies. You know, like lame. But like the fight scene at the start with Bullseye and Daredevil.
So is that the one that's awful. Like it's in the restaurant?
It's in the bar. Yeah.
Or,
right
the bar. Start. Yeah.
And
so I saw that clip. I have a disclaimer. I haven't watched these episodes. I'm just going off of Narrowdark's verdict and like the clips that I saw. Like,
Yeah,
come
I
out
put the
late.
clip in the video as well.
Yeah, man, that's where I saw it. It was on your video, and that looked like pure.
Like the whole thing looked like that.
How atrocious!
And Daredevil, he moves around like Daredevil does in the comics, but on screen it looks so bad, and it's not. It just doesn't look good as a progression of that character's abilities.
You know what it felt like
Doesn't
to me,
work,
Narrowdark?
man.
It felt like to me, bro. It felt like a fucking WWE match. When I watch wrestling from like the WWE stuff, and you can clearly see, even though their camera angles try to like tweak and make it like a little bit more showy and make it look like a real fight, you're seeing it from the angle of the audience, and it's clear as day that no punches are being like quote unquote landed, and the camera magic is not hiding any of that shit. It's so fucking bad.
Yeah,
they left that, and they left that. They watched that cut and they looked at it in editing and they said, "Yep, looks great. Put it out."
You know, yeah, it's weird. It's weird that it's like they're like CGI models, and when they hit each other, it just doesn't. It looks straight like what you said. Like it's like wrestling. It doesn't look real.
It's so
and like
awful.
You know, Kingpin, he is known to be a murderer and someone who corrupted the FBI. The idea that he would be anywhere near politics or be allowed to run for mayor is just crazy. Like maybe that is a thing people can do in our real world. I don't fucking know. Like if you're a known criminal, who's done, like, who's corrupted the FBI. Well, you know, we don't have to get into like, you know, are there corrupt criminal people in like government right now? 100%.
No, none
but
whatsoever.
I'm talking about when you're like a kingpin of crime, a known kingpin of crime. You've went to prison. You've killed people. You killed an FBI agent who was like on video saying, "If I die, it's Wilson Fisk." like,
yeah,
it's just like, how is this guy the mayor? Whatever. But like now it's in the MCU for real, so it's like, well, it's the MCU, and so much crazy shit has happened, and people are like, well, oh, he's killed a couple people, whatever. Fuck it. There's a fucking giant alien rising out of the ocean or whatever. Like, who cares? Fuck it. Our president was the Hulk. Who cares? That's how I would be, honestly. Like, yeah, whatever. He's a fucking, you know, fuck it.
No.
But anyway,
yeah.
The green screen stuff, awful green screen. It looks so bad. There's a moment where White Tiger is like fighting on a subway platform, and at the end, the train is going behind him. It looks so bad. It looks so fake. But they gave him a magic medallion that gives him powers. I wasn't expecting them to do that, so cool. Good job, Disney.
How I'm clipping that for later.
Damn it. But yeah, like Kingpin, they do mention Echo. They mention that she shot him in the head. He's also got like a little scar or whatever. I'm like, I guess, does he have super strength like you did in Hawkeye? Because he was like kind of overpowered in Hawkeye, like kind of super strong.
White Tiger?
No, Kingpin.
Oh, Kingpin. No.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. They will probably give him super strength or whatever kind of enhanced strength he has.
Well,
but
no,
yeah, like
Kingpin in the comics or like in the cartoon, even like he was just known for just being like an abnormally fucking large man. Like, and
but in comparison to like the Netflix stuff, he's not like that in the Netflix show, but he is like that in Hawkeye.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's a different continuity, right?
Yeah.
No, it isn't. But now it isn't.
Continuity.
It would have worked if it was a different continuity, but it's not anymore.
Yeah. Sounds like a blatant fucking inconsistency. I hear you. I hear that.
Yeah. And so, it's just like, you know, according to some people are saying that Daredevil's not good. Oh, yeah. So at the beginning, he tries to kill Bullseye. Bullseye lives. But he's like, well, I've tried to kill someone, so I'm not going to be Daredevil anymore. So he's not Daredevil. And I heard that he's not going to be in the costume until episode 6 or until after episode 6.
Are you shitting me?
That's what I've heard. If that's true, fuck the show.
Oh my! Like, oh, holy fuck!
Like, And the thing about it being called Born Again, like season 3 of the show is kind of already that storyline, so it's just Born Again in name only. Like it's not actually following the comics, right? Not that it
Is it like
would.
a rehashing and they're kind of like covering up things that happened in the Netflix show?
Nah, man, I think they're just straight up like we're continuing the story, but we're also doing
Fuck.
the same plot again. Where it's like I have to like because he didn't wear the Daredevil costume in season 3.
Right.
And based on what I've seen of the Punisher, he's going to be in like the same disheveled place he was at the beginning of the first season of Punisher, where he's not the Punisher and he's like got a beard and he's all scraggly looking. Like, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see, but this shit is not looking good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't look good. And I also heard they toned down like the whole like Daredevil and his like his Catholic
You
roots.
know, I'm not sure how we'll have to wait and see, like I said, but there was a moment I put at the beginning and the end of my video, the 2 times, like in the 2 episodes it's mentioned, like
Yeah.
he talks about being raised with like, you know, to believe in like, you know, redemption or whatever and like retribution. And then there's a part where he's like sort of either reminiscing or just straight up hearing a priest talk about like say a sermon or something in the 2nd episode. So it's like it's there, but what are they talking about when they're saying it's toned down? Like what are they actually talking about?
Oh, just saying like they're not. It's like it used to be far more like pushed to the front of like the character's archetype, if you will. Like it was really
Yeah, I mean, like,
represented and really referenced a lot more heavily in like past content with the character.
I
So
think
I mean, like not to
so
like
far it's good enough. Like he mentions it in one episode, and then there's a reference to it in the 2nd episode.
yeah.
So it's like, what more do you want? Like when I
I
say,
yeah,
what do these
I hear
people
ya.
mean? I'm talking about like the people who say it's not there or played down. Like, what are they actually talking about? Because
Right.
from what I can see, they're wrong. You know,
Yeah, could be.
and like, you know, I don't know what the fuck. What do they mean? Like, do they want him to go to church and talk to a fucking priest? The
I
priest
don't know,
is
man.
dead.
I think a lot of people were referencing the fact that, like, you know, I'm gonna bring up Batfleck, Ben Affleck, Daredevil movie, but in that movie, the Catholic Church and him like discussing things with the priest and him meddling with his meddling around and wrestling with his faith, that was definitely heavier.
Yeah, like
More heavily represented in
first
that movie.
episode. I'm not trying to argue or anything, but like in the first
No, yeah, go
episode,
ahead.
he references his faith. In the 2nd episode, he's reflecting on his beliefs, looking at a church and like hearing a priest say a sermon. Like
Okay, well, yeah,
it's
like
right there.
like I said,
These
I haven't
people,
watched it.
like,
Somebody
I
might,
think
they
I
could
think
be
what
talking hogwash.
in my mind, I think like they want the imagery of his faith, and they don't really like. He just when he says like, oh, you know, he's talking to Kingpin. He's like, oh, you know, you say you've changed. Okay, fine. Like, I'll believe you, but if you step out of line, there'll be retribution. Like
Yeah,
him saying that to Kingpin and saying, you are telling me you're changed, then I'll believe you until you prove otherwise. Like, that's like pretty Catholic of him to do. You know?
yeah.
That's like straight up, like, you know, like I don't know, man. I don't know what those people are saying. Fuck those
No,
people.
yeah.
They're probably shills. A lot of
Could
those shills
be.
got to watch every single episode as well. They've already seen
Yeah.
the show.
I could have
fuck
been. I
them.
could have been digesting shill content. Definitely. Yeah, but that doesn't bode well for Marvel continuity, if you will. As well as like the fallout from this fucking Captain America film as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, fuck the movies.
The movie, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Go ahead.
You know, like even talking about Captain America at this point, I'm like, get over it. You know, like the movie's over. It's shit. Whatever. You know,
And I brought up Incredible Hulk earlier, and everyone's been fucking mumbling about how it feels like more like a sequel to that movie than it does a Captain America film.
yeah, but those people are fucking retarded. If I'm being honest, like, sorry to say that word, but
Hey, I don't give a
like,
fuck. I say it,
like
but
I think like that is just because there's Hulk characters in it, which is fine. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a problem at all. I think that's perfectly fine for one hero to face the villains of another. That's totally fine, especially when you're Captain America Sam Wilson, who has no villains. You kind of have to like go
right.
like, unless, well, here's the thing, they fucked it up because they have Serpent Society in that movie, but it's not the real Serpent Society. It's just like a mercenary group called Serpent. And it's
Wow.
lame as fuck. Like, what they should have done is gotten a bunch of wrestlers to play the Serpent Society and have them, because they're snake themed villains.
Should
And it's
have
like,
got John Cena.
one of them's in Luke Cage. I think it's like Diamondback, the villain in Luke Cage season 1, where it's like Mahershala Ali dies and then it's like a different guy who has like a power suit. I think it's Diamondback. He's one of them. But yeah, like, you know, what, you think it's too silly to have fucking snake villains, but the leader is looking like a ghoul and he looks like a freak, and you're like, this is the villain. It's like, huh? This is goofier than anything you could have done.
Honestly, waste of resources, waste of time,
Waste of money.
big waste of money. Yeah, I man, is there anything good coming out?
No.
Fantastic Four, maybe. Like, I don't want to sound like
Hopium.
I'm
No, I'm just kidding.
Hopium. I was gonna say,
Hopefully you guys try.
I like the aesthetic of the film. The only things I don't like is Reed Richards' casting and also Johnny Storm's casting, because it's like, he should be a fucking like ladies' man and not look like some guy. You know, just like some guy off the fucking
Somebody
street.
said he looks like some random Serbian thug, and I thought that was kind of funny.
He needs to be more attractive than me.
Well, Chris Evans was like, you know, it's like a handsome looking guy. Like, that's Johnny Storm. But I don't think this Johnny Storm is going to be like a player or anything like that. He's just going to be a guy. You know?
Scran said, I love the Ben Affleck Daredevil director's cut when I was a kid. Had the hots for Elektra, among my first crushes with Padme. Yes, the Elektra scenes were very, very nice. Jennifer
Garner?
Gardner? Yeah, Jennifer Gardner.
Jennifer
Yeah, she
Garner.
came back in the fucking in the Deadpool
Yeah, she was
Wolverine.
in Deadpool and Wolverine, dude. That was cool, you know?
Yeah, it was nice to see her in that. It was nice to see Blade. Oh, man. Really like seeing Blade. Wesley Snipes
you know,
is the
like,
fucking man. What could have been?
It's just
What could have
fucked up
been?
because I feel like there's so much stuff in the post Endgame era that could have been really great, and they've introduced a lot of stuff that you could do a lot with, and they just aren't going to do it.
There's honestly more content in the new era of Marvel than there was prior, and it's so trash in comparison.
One thing that I will never forgive is when they introduced Dane Whitman, the Black Knight, played by Kit Harington, in the Eternals. And I was like so fucking hyped for that movie, pumped up. I was like, Dane Whitman, it's fucking Black Knight. And I read a bunch of comics. I was like, so ready for that. We're never seeing that fucking character again.
Ever.
Like, ever again. There's even teasing the Ebony Blade, and Blade in that scene is like the voice off screen. We're never seeing either of those characters. Dane Whitman and Blade. We're never seeing Blade, guys. It's never happening.
They crammed so much into that fucking quote unquote Captain America film because you have the Eternals, and like you said, you have the essence of the Serpent Society. You have Leader. You have the fucking mercenary who I don't even know who Giancarlo Esposito's character is supposed to be.
Sidewinder. So he's one of the Serpent Society, but I think it's Sidewinder. He's one of the serpents. They've taken the name and just made him a mercenary.
Interesting. Yeah, and I heard he was in there like less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. He's just a guy. He's like a military guy.
He plays the same fucking character in everything now. I'm convinced.
Apparently he likes doing that. Likes playing villains. So
Hey
fair enough.
man, more power to him. Well, he got that check. That's all that matters, right?
Imagine if he was in a fucking snake outfit, like a snake villain.
It's
That would have
all
been
about
great.
fucking money. I hate it.
Oh yeah, Sidewinder is the
Sidewinder
leader,
is supposed to
okay.
be the leader of the Super Society. Really? Thank you, purist.
I remember when they announced Civil War at Comic-Con, and it was like Captain America, Serpent Society, and then they were like, actually, let's change the name, and it was like a whole thing where they changed it to Civil War, and then like Chris Evans, and then Tony, fucking whatever his name is, Robert Downey Jr. came out, and then they also brought out Chadwick Boseman for the first time as T'Challa. I remember that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. We're gonna go on Marvel tangents right now. T'Challa in Civil War versus him in his own film of the Black Panther movie, night and day.
That costume in Civil
Fucking
War is
night and day.
so good. The costume is amazing, and everything else, like his costume in Black Panther is fucking lame, dude.
Yeah, and I also like there's a big character difference in the movie versus Civil War. He just came off as such much more of a badass, like a fucking vengeful, out for blood, fucking determination. I'm gonna fucking fuck you up. And then in his own movie, he's just getting kind of pulled around and dragged and held by the hand by all the, no offense, all the women in his life.
And then there's like really dated memes in that movie, and like like, what are those?
Yeah.
Even in 2016 or whenever that movie came out, that was like so dated.
Yes. Yeah.
If you repeat a meme from like the year prior, it's like a dead meme. Like that's kind of the nature of it.
Kind of cringe.
Kind of fucking big cringe, dude. Like, yeah.
Big cringe.
Yeah, like the costume, the villain, I think, villains who have the same powers as the heroes can work, but not when it's the first film in a series. That feels like easy and cheap and like kind of like a hacky thing to do. Unless you're the Hulk, then it's like fine. Then it's like, oh, it's Abomination. Cool. No big deal. And the Flash is another one.
Don't. Why did you?
I love the Reverse Flash.
Why'd you say that name? No, I'm just kidding.
I love the Flash. Love Reverse Flash.
It was me.
I love all the speeds.
Did you ever watch Flashpoint Paradox cartoon?
As a kid, yeah. Like that was, I think my first introduction to the Flash was probably the CW show, but
really?
I did watch that. Yeah, maybe I probably watched actually the Flashpoint cartoon before that. And I think the only reason I knew about the Flash because I watched the Arrow. I watched Arrow, and then he was in that, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
No,
it's the Flash. And he's also in like Justice League Unlimited, but it's Barry Allen, not Barry Allen, fucking Wally West.
Yes.
But my first introduction was Bart Allen in Smallville, and that's the only version of Bart Allen that I don't want to fucking murder. Every other version of that character can fuck off. Terrible character, always annoying, fucking lame. And in the Flash show, he like was because the actor is like a singer, so they had him singing in one episode. I was like, get out of here, dude! Get the fuck out of here! And he was throwing like lightning shurikens because they at a point where they were like, fuck it, the Flash, the speedsters can just make constructs with their lightning, like their Green Lantern or something. Like it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
A little out there, yeah. I man, not to segue too crazy, but I remember being a kid and I was seeing like the Flash Gordon movie on the shelf at the Hollywood Video, fucking old as fuck. With the VHS, it was a VHS tape rental, and I remember thinking like seeing the Flash superhero, and I was like, oh, I'm like, this is a superhero movie. And it was, because Flash Gordon is a hero in his own right. But when I watched it, I was just like, oh, I'm like, this he's not running fast, and I was just like totally confused. And then it took me a while to realize, oh, this is a different fucking character in a different fucking universe.
That's something. What I do like about the Flash TV show is like the old show with John Wesley Shipp as Barry Allen. He played Henry Allen in the show, but then he also played Jay Garrick.
He did play Jay Garrick.
They gave him like a pretty sweet costume for Jay Garrick, and he also shows up in Stargirl, by the way, as Jay Garrick. So,
oh yeah, Stargirl.
So you better watch that.
Need to watch it. I know. Don't say it. I know.
Yeah, Eric Wallace, hack. He put his Twitter account on private because everyone was talking shit to him.
Man, and then what the fuck was I gonna go on about? Because we were talking about Captain America, and then T'Challa, Black Panther, yeah. And oh my god, such a missed opportunity. Just fucking recast the motherfucker. He wanted to be recasted. His family said to recast him, and they fucked it all up.
Yeah, I think they've realized that now, and that's what this concept art is like. There's going to be another Black Panther. They're just going to recast him from the multiverse.
Too
late, because they should have just recast that version of the character in the MCU.
Like honestly, Narrowdark, do you think we get to a point where people look at this fucking Marvel universe the same way they look about Star Wars, and then just have zero empathy for it?
I think we're like already on the way there.
Like, are we there yet, or?
Well, I think we're pretty close. We're like right. I think this Doomsday movie is going to make people think this whole thing is done. Like,
right.
We're done with this. You know, it's going to be way too confusing for the general public. It's just going to be slop. It's like Robert Downey Jr. being there. They gave him like, I think, $50 million for each film. So it's $100 million. And it's like so desperate. And all these characters, these young Avengers, these Hulk characters, Star-Lord, like, fuck these characters. You know? No one cares about them. And you're going to make them the center of the film? Fuck them.
And then now that you mention it, now that you bring up that point as well, like Star-Lord had like a wrapped up ending in Guardians 3, did he not?
Yeah, it's a lot of all this stuff from the shills. It's massive cope. Like, oh, well, like, you know, valid to be like Star-Lord. Who cares about Star-Lord coming back? Who cares about him being one of the leads or whatever he's going to be? And then the shills are like, well, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, it said Star-Lord will return. Like, fuck you. You know? like they're hyping up all this multiverse shit. They don't have a clue how like normal people see this. They're going to see this and think, fuck this. Fuck all of this. They did not watch any of these shows, so they're not going to know any of these characters. They're not watching these movies. No one watched Captain America, and a ceiling fell in the cinema, and no one was injured because there was like 2 people in the cinema. So
not a fucking person.
I saw that
2 people.
Like if that doesn't just show you exactly what kind of state Marvel is in.
That's actually a nice way to put it. If that doesn't tell you, then I don't know what to tell you. Real quick before we go any further, because me and Narrowdark can fucking tangent forever on all night long. Captain Keeli, you have to part ways with us for the evening, don't you, sir?
Yeah, I do. I need to go do some shit. We actually have some stuff I need to do around the house. So yeah, that's lots of work-tisms.
Right on, mate. Right on.
And then more work.
Right on, mate. Well, I do appreciate you devoting some time for us this evening, man. You're always appreciated. You are the other half to my yin and yang. Before you go, mate, and say goodbye to all the people in this lovely chat room, you got anything you want to plug for the channel? Anything coming up? You got a stream coming up for the folks?
Not really right now. I'm still trying to work out some things with a new schedule I've got, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, right on, mate. No worries.
Hopefully it'll work out.
Right on. Yeah, rip Keeli, bye Tisms. Yeah, everyone say goodbye to Keeli. He's going to go ahead and head out. So thank you so much, Captain Keeli. As always, my man, you are always welcome, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, it's always good to be here with intelligent people. At least pretty sharp.
I'm sure there's some intelligent people in the chat. You know,
I'm sure they're in the
call,
chat.
But...
Yeah, it's not on this panel. Not on this panel whatsoever.
Yeah, not on this.
They're somewhere.
Somewhere.
Well, right on, mate.
Yeah.
So until next time, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You have
Bye.
a good one.
Your work here is finished, my friend. Go out to the command ship and await my orders.
Right on, right on. We will see Keeli on the next episode for certain. Be sure to go subscribe to Captain Keeli, by the way, guys. He has amazing streams that you can go ahead and rewatch, replay, and he has plenty of content for you guys to go and download, suck into your little brains. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, like me and Narrowdark were going off about the direction with Star-Lord. I say, ha, funny, really cute. And then the whole like handing of the fucking mantle that they were giving to Rocket Raccoon, and he was somehow going to be the new leader of the new Guardians.
Totally. Yeah, like discount Guardians, like fuck all those. Adam Warlock, Kraglin, or whatever his name is.
Tard Warlock.
Yeah, like and like Moon Knight. I just saw Vex talk about the moon. It reminded me of Moon Knight. Like, are we ever going to see that character again? Hope not, because they did a terrible job.
Yeah, that, you know what, Moon Knight was something that I wasn't watching it. Like I said, you know me, I haven't watched a goddamn thing from this new Marvel phase. But when I saw this Moon Knight show coming out, and Daredevil was done really well on Netflix, so was Punisher, and I was seeing Moon Knight was coming out, and I was thinking it was going to be in the same kind of pocket of creativity, and I was just like, I don't know, man, but I was like, whatever. I'm like, I really like Moon Knight as a character, and I was just like having a little huff of the hopium, if you will. And yeah, what a shit show. What a disappointment. A letdown. Really, really hurt me. That one was bad.
Yeah, I think just all of this shit sucks.
Oh yeah, thank you, SWA. Perfect reminder. No, I'm saying the whole thing with Kang, how they were building Kang up, and then the thing happened with Jonathan Majors. And
apparently he was innocent too. Apparently he was innocent as well.
Hey man, in Disney's eyes, you are a fucking criminal.
It's a pariah, no matter what.
You will not act in this town ever again.
I think like just going for Kane as the next Kano, fucking Kano.
Mortal Kombat.
Anyway, going for Kang as the next big bad, kind of a bad idea, you know. Also, he's another that's a Fantastic
big
Four
bad
villain. That's another Fantastic Four character that they just fucked.
That's
come on, man.
Big bad.
Give me some good. Like Kang, you shouldn't have him involved unless the Fantastic Four are involved. And also, it's not even like it's weird how they took time travel and made it the multiverse.
Yeah.
Because he's a time traveling villain, but they made it a multiverse thing because the way they describe time travel is fucking dumb. You can easily explain it, but like they're too stupid to even think of it. They don't even realize the way they've done it is wrong and stupid. That's how dumb they are. DC do the multiverse better, I think. They're just like, it's just like a separate world. It's like 52 of them or whatever. They're all numbered and shit. Like, and it's like,
I'm gonna take advantage of you just saying that, opening your wee little your gob about DC, because I'm gonna segue to something right here, because I was looking for a good time to segue, and I was honestly, we could talk about fucking Marvel and their mishaps forever, just like we can with Star Wars, guys, honestly. But yeah, how about that Batman film?
We'll get it eventually. You know, I think later on in this article, James Gunn is like, you know, a few years between sequels is normal, which I also agree. But I also think it's funny. I was a young Batman, and when the sequel comes out, I'm gonna be old Batman. But also, you're like 35, dude. Already, you're old. You're like pretty. You're not exactly a young fella in the first.
He's not exactly a young whippersnapper, but no, Robert Pattinson, man. Like, well, first of all, how did you feel about his Batman film?
I thought it was all right.
Thought it was all right.
I thought the Riddler was a little goofy, but
okay.
You know, overall, I like when it comes to the tone and the way Gotham is portrayed. I thought it was pretty neat.
All right, because yeah, my majority of my complaints were having to do with Paul Dano's Riddler. I
Yeah, like
I man, like my favorite Riddler depiction would have to be from the Arkham video games, and of course, the comics based on the Arkham stuff, or like the comic books, and like the Arkham games are based off of like the comic version of Riddler, because every version that we've gotten of Riddler in live action honestly doesn't really come close. I mean, yeah, like you have the 1966 Adam West TV series Riddler, and that's a pretty good one, but he laughs a little too much for my taste. A real
I honestly
Joker-esque.
think I don't like Gotham. I don't think it's good, but I liked season 1 of like the story with Penguin. I actually liked his arc, and Riddler. I thought it was all right. Like, I don't know if you remember anything about that show, but like he was working in like he's like a forensic guy, and then he like kills a dude and like just like becoming a villain. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And then by the end, he's like full blown like Riddler. And I was like, oh, I don't care about this. And then he was like gay. He was like gay with the Penguin or something. The Penguin was like in love with him. So I was like, huh? But like that actor, I think, was a pretty good choice. Like he's a good actor, and like that version of it, like
Yeah,
Paul Dano is like just a bit fucking goofy, mate.
like Paul Dano's a great actor, mind you. Like I feel like he's a great actor, and I read the Riddler Year One comic collection that he had. He also helped write that, by the way. And
is it connected to the movie, or is it just like a
it's an exact prequel comic book to the Batman film before Riddler starts his plan in motion.
Is it any good?
I think it's pretty well done. It gives me more of a draw for the character than the movie actually does, in my opinion.
Yeah. I also don't like Joker, like their version of Joker, lame. Get out of here.
The cut up, like mangled looking Joker, and he kind of sounds like a yeah, she, like I'm gonna take you for your money, she. He kind of sounds like that kind of voice. I don't know, maybe I could be reaching, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, but, I don't like it. I don't like that either.
And then Scran says Riddler was stupid. I'm a big fan of Batman Year One and also Earth One, so I like the movie. Yeah, because this is technically supposed to be the fuck me. He said that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's more like based on Year Two, and
it's like I think his journal at the start is like it says like Gotham Project Year 2 or something like that. So so it's like he's second year, but like when it comes to writing a script, I kind of expect it to fucking almost be done. And Matt Reeves is like, I kind of have a vague idea of what I want the story to be. It's like, you should be like, I don't know, man. You probably should have been working on this as soon as the first one was done and you knew you were going to get a sequel.
Yeah. But Matt Reeves,
further along.
Matt Reeves is like, he's dragging his ass for the sequel because, like, I don't know, like you said, how James Gunn said that there's like delay and there's supposed to be, or you say it right here, like how you said, to be fair, a 5-year gap is more is fairly common in sequels. 7 years between Alien and how dare he reference Alien and Aliens like he's even as good as them. Fuck you. But I don't know, man. Like I honestly look at it sometimes and I see that hype genuinely disappears quickly nowadays for things, and if you can't keep up, like I'm not calling everybody stupid, especially like
what I think.
Here,
I think the Penguin show helps with keeping it in people's minds.
Fuck you, Scran.
Well, actually, how dare you compare it to Alien and Aliens? Yeah.
Fuck both of you.
But yeah, I think the Penguin being a show that people liked and like won awards and stuff, people are talking about it, that has given them some grace. But I think if they went into production like filming now, then it's good. The fact that the script is not even close to being done is like crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, at least it seems like Gunn is like with the vision that Matt Reeves has like put together. Because he says right here, Matt Reeves is committed to making the best film he possibly can. No one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write. Once there is a finished script, there is around 2 years for pre-production, shooting, and post-production on big films. Gunn has stressed repeatedly that no movie will go into production under the DC Studios banner without a completed script. He explained his rationale by telling press it is hard enough making a good movie with a good script. It's almost impossible making a movie with a script that you're writing on the run. Yeah. Well, like I
I
said,
feel like most Marvel movies are. That's how it feels. They're writing on the run. They're like
right.
making shit up on the day. Like, oh, we're filming. Let's just figure out a scene.
Maybe
Probably.
Vex, but I've also I've hypothesized that it might be not fucking. Oh, I just had it drawn a blank. Someone was saying Hush. Them talking
Huh.
about Hush. And I talked about this on Hang Out with Your Floppy on last Monday's stream, how like I would love to see a Hush project be put together, like how they're doing
Yeah, I
like
don't
the
know about.
standalone.
I was like kind of questioning that idea because like
You think so?
Hush, really? Hush as a character, like not that
Have you
interesting.
not? Okay, so
I've read it,
well,
dude. I've read it.
you have?
Of course, it's like fine. I
It's
think it
fine.
would work better in a film with Bruce Wayne there instead of it kind of being its own thing. I think his dynamic with Bruce and the fact that they knew each other and like that is more interesting. And I feel like if you want to expand on what Bruce Wayne is like and how he presents himself to the public, you also have Hush. What's his name? Hush's name.
Thomas
Uh
Elliott.
Thomas Elliott. Yeah, like, you know, I understand. I'm just like, yeah, it's his own show. I don't know about that. But like as the villain for a film,
Well,
sure.
he has a fucked up arc, man. Like he grew up with alongside Bruce and like Thomas Elliott's or yeah, Tommy Elliott's father was like an associate for with Thomas Wayne. They were medical professional colleagues and
Is he named
you
after
know,
is he named after Thomas Wayne?
fuck no. No,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. God no. But anyway, he fucking is like what like he doesn't he's jealous of Bruce Wayne basically from like day one, and he masterminds the accident that makes his parents lose their life, and he Scran, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I hypothesize that the villain will be Hush.
Whatever you
And
said.
he
Anyway.
basically put together the scheme of like murdering his own parents and then so he could like inherit his fortune, but then
Mm.
he fucking pisses through the money, pisses through the resources that he's given, and he definitely uh gets like enthralled more into his jealousy and basically says, "Oh no, I'm fucking skipped a whole aspect of it." Thomas Wayne saved one or both of his parents from the accident, so he had to like go about it a different way. So the guy was fucking evil and conniving and just a jealous fucking mess, pissed through the money that he inherited, and then but he added the set of skills. He also became a very skilled surgeon in return, and developed the skill to be able to cut multiple skin grafts from people in order to make his so-called false faces. And that's a little tidbit for all you fans of the old Adam West show, that there was a character
Yeah.
named False Face.
Like honestly, I don't really vibe with that whole character at all. Like, I don't like the idea that he's cutting faces and he's wearing faces, and it's like it's just surgery, dude. Like, I don't know about that.
I think it's cool. I like
I
it.
don't know. I don't
If
know.
it
I don't
When I played Arkham City and he was like a little side character, it honestly it fell flat in the Arkham Knight game because that game was just really disappointing on many different fronts.
Mm.
But when you are introduced to him in Arkham City, it's nice setup. You got these side missions and you're finding these dead bodies in alleys with particular pieces of their face cut off, and then you come across him actually in the fucking church where you take down Harley Quinzel, or Harley Quinn. I don't know why I always say Quinzel immediately, but you take down Harley Quinn and then he's like laying on a gurney and he's like holding tight to like this like organ ice chest, and they're like saying, oh, they don't know how to pry it off of him, but he basically cut his own face off, and it like happened in a panic because he knew that he was going to get found out by some doctors there, so he just went ahead and cut his face off there, and he on the scene, and he's definitely mentally unstable. He's a crazy motherfucker.
I feel like they would make him like just a serial killer who cuts faces and maybe wears faces like a mask, like how Joker cuts his own face off and wears it. Like if they were to put him in that Batman version, that's what it would be like. It wouldn't be like his character from the comics.
I think it would. I think it'd be kind of cool if Hush was the surgeon that cut off Joker's face for him in like a live action movie. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't like it, fuck ass.
I mean, why did Joker cut his own face off? I forget.
It was all part of
crazy.
the plan.
He's crazy. Oh yeah,
it was
yeah.
all
I know.
part of the plan.
I know what you told. I know exactly what story that's in. I remember that now. That's kind of the like. Yeah, I think they should go. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't fucking have a clue. They should get Komodo. They should bring Komodo in, and he should be the villain. Even know who the fuck that is.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
The Green Arrow villain.
Yeah.
Simon LaCroix. Simon LaCroix, I think his name is. Where he's like he's kind of like a mercenary. He's got like a bow and arrow and shit.
No, I have not. SWA. Have not read.
I've kind of seen it. I know he gets a Green Lantern ring. I think at one point in that comic.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He ends up with a Green Lantern ring. What is the New 52 when Joker did that?
Yes.
Was it
in
the
Death of the Family? Is
Death of the Family. Is the New 52 also where he's like, I need the Dionysium. I need the remember that? Where he's like where he's like, oh, the Joker was like one of the Jokers. I'm sure this was like the 3 Joker thing. It's like,
oh no,
I was immortal and
I
need
was
I need the Dionysium.
After. Yeah, that's after.
It's like talking about the Lazarus pit. Like it's just like weird and shit. Like,
SWA, don't remind me of that trash.
Both suck. I hated that version of Joker.
Gotham sucks.
I hated that version of Joker.
Yeah, but like I said, we talk about the fucking like craziness that is the Marvel universe and the multiverse shit. The DC universe is gonna be interesting to see how James Gunn lays this all out.
I'm kind of questioning some of these choices, but because they're so clear, like this is Elseworlds. This is not part of like the Superman film that's coming out. It's not connected to that. It's like a different universe. The fact that he's like so clear, like he's setting it up for the audience, like this is how it's going to be. I feel like it's going to work better than when Marvel are like, this Fantastic Four film is like in a different universe. And everyone's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You know?
Yeah, you already know like how I'm skeptical about the Lanterns show, and I don't know how it's going to tie in, if anything, to the Superman content. Because if you're giving us Guy Gardner, are we going to get Nathan Fillion, Guy Gardner in this show? Then
also,
are they going to mention him?
Why are they all so fucking old? Like I'm fine with Jon Stewart. I mean, Jon Stewart's like a normal age dude. He's like 30 something.
Yeah, like, Jon Stewart's actor Aaron Pierre. He's 30 years old.
Yeah, I'm fine with him and Hal Jordan. I think those casting is fine, but the Guy Gardner casting I genuinely fucking hate.
You know what, SWA? That's exactly where I was gonna go with it, because I was thinking, man, they're gonna make like a vetted Hal Jordan, and he gets taken out or killed off, and it's gonna be a Jon Stewart show.
I mean, that would suck.
I like Jon Stewart, man, but honestly,
my Green Lantern is Hal Jordan. Like I don't know what to say.
But I'm saying in the continuity of things, the next Green Lantern that there should be focus on is Kyle Rayner. But
I'm fine with them not including him and just going, wait, is Kyle Rayner the one? Is he the one whose wife got killed and put in the fridge?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's when the term fridging, that's where it came from. Like when you just kill a female character to give another character development. that's called fridging, and it came from that comic. Like that's where it came from.
I know, man, but I'm saying like
But yeah,
Kyle
Kyle
Rayner.
Rayner. The only Kyle Rayner story I know is like the lantern one where he's like getting all the lanterns and he's like the White Lantern or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Kylo Renner, yeah. And then there's like some other who's like there's like a Mexican lady, Green Lantern.
Yeah, there's a Latina Green Lantern. I don't
I
know her
think there's-
name off the top of
there's
my
like
head. I didn't read
another-
Future State, okay?
Oh yeah, I think there's another Green Lantern who's a dude who wears like a full like cow mask where it's like, fuck it, who cares? Like the only ones that matter are Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and like Guy Gardner, but Guy Gardner's shit because they made him an old man and he gave him a dead haircut.
I can't honestly say as a fan of the Green Lantern content, I can't just say I can't put Guy Gardner's name in there and not include Kyle Rayner. Me personally.
Fair enough. Like Kyle Rayner, I mean, I was big into his storyline where he's the White Lantern. Like I read that and I was like, "This is it Darkest Night? Blackest Night or something."
It was Brightest Day when it happens.
Yeah, but
and
like
then it leads into the New Guardians for New 52 storyline.
Like
and
a lot of the Green Lantern New 52 stuff I thought was pretty good, and he's a big part of that. And like, I just hate that Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner. I fucking hate that. It's just he's too old. He should also be like, you know. And if he's going to be old, fuck it, and just give him like the mustache or like the fucking the big mustache and the red hair when he's a Red Lantern. Like that look. That is the look he should have, not this goofy shit where it's like a blonde guy and he's old.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I'll have to wait and see like what the Green Lantern effect looks like in the Superman film, and like I'm hoping that the costumes for the show are going to be cool and not lame like the ones in the Superman movie. Though I know that's like the fucking like Maxwell Lord Corp.
Outfit. The Corp.
But I'm hoping it has like some, when any superhero gets a lantern ring and then they have like their costume is like a lantern costume.
Yes.
And it looks like their costume, but it still looks like a lantern thing. I'm hoping Guy Gardner's costume does that and it changes, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, well, in the comic, like Guy kind of had like a vest kind of look to him going on, and Kyle Rayner's outfit was definitely much different, and his mask was not even green; it was like black and white.
I do like Kyle Rayner's costume design though.
No, yeah, Kyle Rayner's design is great. Yeah,
like that mask especially. Like I think it looks good.
I don't know SWA. I don't know what kind of source material James Gunn is pulling for it. I wish he would fucking lean into the going towards the Blackest Night route, but that's a big event, and you'd have to do a lot for that to do it right.
If that was like the first Justice League thing they did, that'd be kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that James Gunn is going to invest the entire DC stock and film and money funds to flesh out the Lantern universe.
He wants it to be. How dare you, Scran? How dare you? I used to have a Kylo Ren poster just before we get back to James Gunn, but this was years ago when I first watched the movie. Because I had a bunch of posters and I had it in my room. But then I moved out and I came back and there was a massive hole in the wall where the poster was. Someone had punched it. My little sister, threw a party and someone saw that poster and just punched the shit out of Kylo Ren and left a hole in my wall. I just thought that was funny. But anyway.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
How dare you? But anyway, I think James Gunn wants DC to be multimedia like Star Wars is. So it's like all this different stuff, comics, cartoons, live action shows. It's all going to be tying into the same thing, but there's also going to be Elseworld stories. So he's being pretty ambitious with his plans, and like we'll have to wait how it fucking turns out.
So how does the Batman universe fit into all of this?
That's just Elseworld stuff.
Yeah, but the talks about doing the Clayface stand-up, like, is it just gonna be the
Yeah,
Batman
that's what I'm
stuff?
thinking.
The
Like,
Batman stuff is just gonna be its own thing, and then all the everything else is happening
pretty
is gonna be
much.
they're gonna be like,
Think,
oh,
but he's
like this is the Justice League, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Crypto. No
no, they're
Batman.
going to have two different Batmans. They're going to
Oh
have.
my god,
Well,
why?
I don't think the Clayface is going to be a part of the Matt Reeves Batman. I think they're going to do a second film, and that's it. They might do a second season of Penguin, but I feel like that is on its way out, that universe.
Maybe, man.
Because they're going to be
maybe.
doing Brave and the Bold, which is with Damian Wayne as Robin, who I like. I like Damian Wayne. Dare I say
I
it?
like
I like
Damian
Damian
too.
Wayne.
I like him too.
He grew on me a lot. When I first saw him, I was like, whatever, kid. Get out of here. You're
Yeah,
annoying.
my
But now I'm like,
favorite
fuck yeah.
my
Fuck yeah,
favorite
Damian
Robin
Wayne.
is always going to be Dick Grayson, but Damian grew. Yeah, he grew on me too. Real quick, Vex said he's bouncing, so thanks for the chatting, guys. Yeah, thanks, Vex. Appreciate you hopping in here, man. Guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight and dealing with us. Make sure to hit the like button on the stream if you can. It would mean a lot to us. And then SWA said, from what the showrunner said recently about Lanterns, it sounds like they're doing their own thing, might not follow source material, something like that. I could see that happening, bro. I could see them doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, I don't really know if that's a bad thing. We just have to wait and see because I have no clue what it's going to be about. Like, if they adapt villains and some kind of storyline well enough, I don't know, man. That's fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so weird the way everything is being done.
Yeah.
I feel like this Lantern show has been in the works for a while.
I wouldn't recommend the route that they're going, but hey, what do I know? I don't have millions of dollars backing me.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. Yeah, well, have you heard what he said about Peacemaker? Where he's like,
What?
the majority of it's canon. I guess he means like right at the end where you see the Justice League from the Snyderverse. That's not canon, but everything else is canon to this new universe. Like, I think that's what he was saying. And you know, like it's so
well,
weird. And, like,
I was just gonna say, and you see James Gunn like having like conversations with Zack Snyder, and that concerns me as well.
I think that is just like I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's just making more of it. It's gonna make it more of a clusterfuck, dude. Because Zack Snyder is gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna keep my Wonder Woman, right? Like, I don't want Gal Gadot or whatever, however you say your name.
That's not fucking happening. That's definitely not happening.
I don't want to see another Gal Gadot Wonder Woman movie.
She can't act.
Yeah,
the closest she'll get to any of that Snyderverse stuff happening is either in a comic.
I need to have it for a clip.
Hello, no. I think I actually have that video. I'm pretty sure I still do, but yeah.
Oh my
anyway,
god.
You might get an animated continuation. You won't get any big budget stuff because they're not going to waste money on this dead universe.
SWA, shut your whore mouth.
Who's Tom King?
Tom King is one of the most insufferable writers that has ever worked at DC.
Oh yeah, they're adapting his Supergirl story.
Yeah, I brought it up
movie.
again. I brought that up on the comic talk on Monday, but Tom King, he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up, and that's like just talking on like his public space, like whether it be X or any other kind of like interview that he does. He always has to like bring in his 2 cents on certain things that have nothing to do with comic books. But anyway, I don't think the direction that he brought Batman in, it's not like the worst direction.
Is that the one where he ends up flying with Kite Man?
It's
the Riddler
part of
Joker
it.
War? Is that
yeah, it's part of it. But Tom King is one of the advisors for James Gunn on this new DC universe, film universe, and that just it's a big red flag. Big red flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure any like Marvel writers who I think would be on the same thing. If I was like, there's a new movie coming out and the advisor is this writer, and it's like, oh shit, it's probably gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fuck it then. Tom King.
No,
that gives me a little bit of more of a, like, hopefully James Gunn's not totally stupid.
Well,
knows when to I think his comic book movies are pretty good.
Yeah, I feel with that regard, James Gunn, he
chose poorly.
yeah. I'm sorry, did you just say Kite Man? Yes, sir. Kite Man is a character. He's definitely a character.
But James Gunn, if you're listening to this, let
James
me play Rainbow Raider.
I just want to be Condiment King.
I want to be Rainbow Raider. I want
to be Condiment King. Let Narrowdark be Rainbow Raider, and let us have a buddy cop film.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like,
with the
look
outfit
at
and
that
everything.
already.
Give me that shit, dude.
Oh my god.
Like, if you're gonna do Polka Dot Man, you can do Rainbow Raider. Like, come on.
Exactly. You fucking made Weasel a character.
Yeah,
like,
I think
on.
the fact that he's willing to put characters like that in his films, that makes me hopeful. Like, there's a lot of niche characters that I think you can bring in, or like characters that are a little bit less mainstream.
Yeah, man. I couldn't believe that he made me like what was it, Bloodsport? I couldn't believe Idris Elba's character. Yeah, I couldn't believe that he made Bloodsport more likable and cool.
James Gunn, if you're listening,
Headshot.
If you're listening, there is a white supremacist version of Bloodsport, and he needs to be the villain for Peacemaker season 2. I think that would be great. That would work great because his father was.
Why that in particular?
Because Bloodsport is the guy who almost kills Peacemaker. But then he's going up against a white supremacist using the same name, and his father was also a white supremacist. I feel like, preserving the reputation of Bloodsport, the guy who almost killed him, by taking out a white supremacist called Bloodsport.
Bloodsport does kill him.
No. Have you not seen Peacemaker?
Have you not seen Suicide Squad?
This guy doesn't even know this guy doesn't even know the canon, bro. Peacemaker is set after Suicide Squad. Have you not seen the post-credit scene of Suicide Squad where he's alive?
No, what?
Have you not seen Peacemaker?
What the fuck? Hold on.
Peacemaker?
My mind's fucking. Wait, hold the
This guy's
phone.
a fake DC fan.
Fake
this guy's
fan.
A fraud.
Fake. This guy's a
fucking fraud.
fake. What the fuck? There's a fucking. Hold on. I'm going on YouTube.
Have you not seen Peacemaker though?
Huh? No.
You know.
Just stop talking. Hold on. You have your little stroke real quick. I need to. This changes everything.
Okay, so not only do you need to cover Stargirl on your channel, you also need to watch Peacemaker and cover that as well.
Hold on. What year was
like 2021 Suicide Squad, I think. Like, you just see him in a hospital bed and he's alive, and then Peacemaker, it starts with him getting out of the hospital.
Hold the front door. Or shut the oh my you guys are getting this live right now, mind you. And if you're watching this on the replay, you definitely should ridicule me because I had no idea.
This guy's a fraud.
I feel like one.
Said they found him in the rubble. They were shocked his heart was still beating. I wasn't certain how safe it was shipping him back here. But if anything, he's shown he's resilient. It'll take some surgery, but eventually we'll get him back up to speed.
Get the fuck out of town. That did not.
Right. Waller knows we double crossed her and she's getting back at us by Saturday.
That's the goat, dude.
Douchebag.
Yep. I heard he was sort of a hero down in Corto Maltese.
Was that what you heard? Because not quite.
What do you guys want him for?
To save the universe.
Just to save the fucking world. That's
Oh.
all.
That was close enough.
Okay. You know what? So
Fraud.
I'm not gonna lie to you. My brother told me, or not my brother, my fucking cousin told me that Peacemaker was just meh, and I thought it was a prequel show, so I never watched it.
I just wasted my great idea for a sequel season.
You
on
totally
you
just
didn't fucking
wasted
know
your great idea.
what I was
You
talking
totally
about.
just
You
you totally
fuck,
did.
You bitch.
This is a perfect way to end the stream, by the way.
Yeah.
Like this is oh my holy fuck. So I thought the Peacemaker show was like a prequel leading up to his time in Suicide
Nah,
Squad.
dude.
I had
Nah, dude.
no idea. Now
Cena's
I'm
here to
gonna
stay.
yes, hashtag fake fan, hashtag fraud, hashtag all of that shit. I my mind is honestly blown right now. I can't believe that. Now I'm gonna definitely go watch the show because yeah, no fucking clue, no idea that that was a thing.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
Facts. Yeah, I apologize, Narrowdark. I apologize, mate.
God. No, you definitely
Good.
gotta, you better cover that on your channel eventually.
No, now I have to.
Yeah.
Now I have to. I'm gonna title the video "My Mistake." Oh, that's fucking funny. But man, I think yeah, that's a great note. Let's end it on that. Let's end it on a decrepit fuck up. Tonight was a great one. Tonight was full of tisms and all that. All your favorite things are dead, properly titled. Your Star Wars dreams are dead, your Marvel dreams are dead, and your DC dreams are fucking dead. Everything's in the shitter. Smile and laugh as it all goes down the drain. I want to thank Narrowdark for joining us tonight, being an amazing member of the panel per usual. Before we go, Narrowdark, you got anything coming out that the people should know about, brother?
I am covering Daredevil, but I'm also going to be releasing some chapter readings of A Song of Ice and Fire.
There we
Probably
go.
more stuff because I've looked into it and there's more stuff I'm interested in reading. So look out for that, guys.
Look out for that, guys. And look out for my fraudulent ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Look out for my fraudulent ass dropping some content on the channel, guys. The DC content is probably going to be coming before I drop anything about Star Wars. I'm working on Star Wars content, but it's going to be more like long form, like how our buddy Scran the other day, he dropped a nice little documentary of George Lucas and the betrayal of George Lucas by Disney. So definitely go check that out. Make sure you subscribe to him. Make sure you subscribe to Narrowdark. Go give him a follow and tell him Decrepit is a fraud on his most recent video. Make sure you're subscribed to Captain Keeli. And as always, guys, this has been Unlimited Tirade. I thank you all for joining us tonight. You guys have all been wonderful. If you are catching the replay, be sure to leave a comment and talk some shit to us. We always are welcoming that. And we will see you next time. Thank you guys for being here with us. Good night.
Yes, my mother twitted my fucking temples!
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Your work here is finished, my friend. Go out to the command ship and await my orders.
Surely you can do better.
What are you?
I'm Batman.